Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the Fantasy Football Counselor. We're talking about 2020 fantasy football wide receiver breakouts. Yes, guys that you can probably get later in your fantasy football draft that could significantly break out. Got a list of a couple guys you should definitely target. Gonna get into this, guys, right now.
Hey, it's Josh Jacobs, and you're listening to the Fantasy Football Counselor.
Welcome to the show, guys. I'm excited to dive into a couple of wide receiver fantasy football breakouts for 2020. Really excited to dive into this list. Before I do, guys, make sure you guys smash a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Would you consider drafting these guys, and when would you consider picking them up? Because again, guys, this is going to vary and change depending on the NFL draft. So this is done before the NFL draft. So again, other wide receivers could slide in here, line up with these guys, and possibly affect their fantasy football value. So, approach with caution there. Again, guys, ask that you leave a comment below, interact. I want to make it super interactive and fun here for you guys. And again, smash that thumbs up. Also, get the 16-round draft solution. It's the absolute game changer. It's going to help you guys dominate your 2020 fantasy football draft. Make sure you guys get it below or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com. And of course, under the programs, it is there for you to grab. All right, so let's dive into these wide receiver breakouts because there is a list here I want to go through. And I'm telling you, this really is going to solidify the fact that, hey, you could probably wait on wide receiver and get that amazing talent. And that's what I want to cover with you guys. And again, load up on those RBs because you can get a lot of depth at wide receiver. So let's start off with the first breakout guy I want to talk about here. First guy is Courtland Sutton. Now, I understand he had a pretty good season last year. Finished 19th in PPR, 125 targets, around 72 receptions, over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. Not bad. But listen, this year he's going to be with Drew Lock potentially. If Drew Lock starts, that could be a really good thing here. Not to mention, they are looking at targeting one of these top 5 wide receivers in the NFL draft. They want to get a really solid wide receiver to line up with Courtland Sutton. Now, they solidify that backfield with Melvin Gordon. I'm not really a Phillip Lindsay fan or anything like that, and we're not going to talk about running backs, but it's nice they've got a top 5, top 10 potential running back in Melvin Gordon, who's really going to keep the defenses focused on him, which could open things up for Courtland Sutton. Now, he can be a huge touchdown monster, okay? He is a little underrated, and he's been through a bunch of quarterbacks that just weren't that good, that never got the ball to him. So, listen, if Drew Lock connects with him, this could be a really, really special connection. By the way, Drew Lock, we're going to get into that, another potential breakout there. But again, Courtland Sutton could really, really be special, and he is a guy that could be a fantasy football 2020 breakout at the wide receiver position. Number 2. Now, this guy, he had a little bit of a breakout. Now, these guys have shown flashes, don't get me wrong. So you could say they've kind of broke out. But when I say breakout, I mean like really breakout, possibly finish top 10, top 15, top 20, really, really breakout. Now, again, Courtland Sutton finished 19th. Maybe he'll come up a little bit, in the rankings. But the next guy is Terry McLaurin here. Listen, Terry's, scary Terry's pretty good based on what we've seen. They've got Kyle Allen there and Haskins that could be battling for a QB job. Now, I think Kyle Allen could get the start. Haskins didn't look really impressive in his debut in some of the games we saw him play in, but Terry finished 29th in PPR last year, 919 yards, 7 touchdowns, 58 receptions on 93 targets. Listen, this guy is the guy there in Washington. There is no better receiver. They've got enough depth at running back position to keep, again, the defenses guessing. Could, I don't know if they're going to face too many stacked boxes because they could, but Terry McLaurin's a guy that probably end up open because Geis, if he's healthy, could be good. They've added Peyton Barber, which I'm not excited about. Bryce Love was great talent, was banged up last year. Hopefully he gets going. Peterson, who knows? So they've got a slew of running backs there that, again, could keep the defenses guessing, and that could open up things for Terry McLaurin. Again, Terry had an okay year, 29th in PPR, so look for that to come up, and he could really, really break out this year. The quarterback's not the most exciting, but there is some upside, okay? Number 3, breakout here. Again, no particular order in regards to how I think they're going to break out, but I really like DK Metcalf. Listen, the talent is there. He's going into his second year, and there's a ton of sophomore guys that could come out this year and break out. But listen, Metcalf is a beast. He had 100 targets, 58 receptions. He had 900 yards, okay, 7 touchdowns. We're going to definitely see that come up this year. I think he's going to be more of a focal point in and around the red zone. I do like him there. Now, again, Russell Wilson has that rapport with Lockett. We're going to have to see if they add any other receivers or what's going to happen there. But again, I think Metcalf could be special talent here for the Seattle Seahawks. I definitely see him taking a step up for this upcoming season. I got 2 more here for you guys, some honorable mentions as well. I got 8 honorable mentions I really want to mention here. But coming at number 4, I got DIONTAE Johnson. Now, I've called him a deep fantasy football sleeper. But listen, I'll tell you what the upside is with DIONTAE Johnson. Big Ben's coming back. Big Ben throws it. He slings the ball a lot. In fact, so much so that he actually led in passing yards back in 2018, I think it was. So, listen, he's going to feed the ball to DIONTAE Johnson. Not to mention, if you go back to the 2018 season, 168 targets were distributed to Antonio Brown, and another 166 were distributed to Juju. And then he had an injury, obviously, in 2019, which sidelined him. But he made both those wide receivers top 10 receivers. I'm not sold in Washington there, James Washington. I'm not sold as him being the guy. Now, there is talk that Washington could be the guy. But again, years to wow me, I'm not wowed. DIONTAE Johnson has shown flashes. Again, finished 41st in PPR. Nothing to be excited about. But again, quarterback situation was sketchy there. But again, 92 targets, 59 receptions, 680 yards, 5 touchdowns. So he has shown flashes. And again, that's not with Big Ben being there. So again, the upside is there. I like the talent. And again, if Juju's seeing double coverage, that's really going to open up things for DIONTAE Johnson, who I think is going to be under the radar and is extremely talented. He could really, really break out and maybe even finish top 10. Who knows? Top 15. That's the type of upside we're talking about here. If, again, Big Ben gravitates to him and that rapport is there, it could be a special connection. Another guy I got here for you, and I just did an episode with Nothing But Niners. I'm going to link it below here. You should check it out on DEEBO Samuel. I'm linking it below because I'm talking about DEEBO, so you guys should check it out here on YouTube. If not, guys, if you're not listening to my YouTube channel, and you're in the audio, if you're not watching my YouTube channel, head on over to YouTube, just search Fantasy Football Counselor, click subscribe as well, and you get the video version as well. Listen, DEEBO Samuel finished 31 in PPR last year. The thing about DEEBO, again, phenomenal hands, good route runner. Doesn't have that really high-end speed, but he's not slow by any means. But listen, DEEBO Samuel's a guy that's going to be a safe wide receiver 3 with some upside. Now, there is some upside there, but my only concern with DEEBO is, again, the Shanahan offense, Jimmy Garoppolo spreading that ball around. So I don't know if he's going to be one of those guys that's going to get like 130 to 150 targets. I don't know if I see that. I'm hoping he does. I think the talent is there. Emmanuel Sanders was the top target getter last year. I don't know how that's going to shape up this year. We're going to have to see after the draft what's going to happen. And again, we have Kittle there. We got pass-catching running backs, spreading the ball around. And again, they like to mix things up to keep the defenses guessing. There isn't necessarily a primary wide receiver. And again, I got this from the guys that live and breathe the 49ers, and that is Nothing But Niners. I was talking to Nick and Mike there. You can watch the video there below. So again, guys, I am excited about DEEBO. There could be a bigger breakout this year, but again, his ceiling could be limited due to the fact that they spread the ball around. And then honorable mention I was talking about is A.J. Brown. Is Tannehill going to be the real deal? What's going to happen? Or was it just kind of like an anomaly? He had one good year. Because again, we haven't seen him do really well in Miami. Is he the real deal? That could help A.J. Brown's value there in Tennessee. Could be exciting to watch. Well, guys, there you have it. Some wide receiver breakouts for 2020. Keep them on your radar. And there's going to be some wide receiver rookie breakouts. Depending on where they land, there could be some major upside for them as well. Make sure you target them if they're in the right landing spot. And I'm going to talk about all of that in the 16-round draft solution, the first ever and only video training to help you guys dominate your leagues. Link below, or head on over to thefantasyfootballcounselor.com under programs and get it. All right, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Are you interested in a McLaurin, DK Metcalf, Sutton? Are you excited about these wide receivers? I'm excited about DIONTAE Johnson, but we're going to have to see how it all ends up happening. But again, are you excited? Leave a comment below. Love to hear your feedback. And again, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.